the 2023 draft, the Arizona Coyotes select. Who knows? Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah. This is a plot twist. I'm Leah here with Craig, and Petey is calling in from home. It's a bit of a unique setup for us
Except
three.
Petey didn't go to the game. He just stayed home and,
I just didn't want to be
house projects or something.
I just didn't want to hang out with Craig. It's starting to be a pattern. Like if I'm there, then he's not there. It's like Batman and Bruce Wayne. Maybe we're the same person.
Fair enough.
No, we're not. We're not.
They're not. I've seen you guys in the room together. Coyotes have points in 4 straight games.
They're only 13 points behind the Ottawa Senators now.
Like at this point, I'm paying more attention to the teams in Ottawa's way than the teams in the Coyotes' way because I've given up all hope. I'm done. I got nothing.
Neither do I.
I don't know what you do.
I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know
what else can they do.
What do you mean? What else can they do? They can climb to. I think they could finish as high as with the 9th worst record.
What if they pass Ottawa and Ottawa has the worst or the better pick? That'd be crazy.
Yep.
No, but
all right. All positive here, right? All positive.
It is, but I don't know what you want them to do, Craig. Like they gave up.
Lose.
They didn't get a shot on goal in the 3rd period against the defending Stanley Cup champions, playing their backup goalie on the road with a back-to-back coming up. What the hell else are they supposed to do? I mean, they have 5 Roadrunners in the lineup. They have 1 defenseman that anybody's heard of, and that's Nemeth and Brown. I guess Brown. There's 2. So literally, what else are they supposed to do?
Lose.
But how? Like that's it. They did it. When you check the boxes of how to lose
is important.
They checked all the boxes.
Yep.
You're right. Fascinating one. I think we should just get right into the numbers because they are interesting. Obviously, we just mentioned it. The Coyotes were outshot 18-0 in the 3rd period. The Coyotes had 0 shots on goal in the 3rd period.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that at least ties a franchise low.
I mean,
0.
You can't really go any lower than that. I know they're not the only team to do it this season. Tampa Bay, it just happened to them, but 44 shots, 44-20. Poor Ingy. He was great tonight, by the way. We'll get to that in a bit. 44-20. Coyotes 0 for 1 on the power play. Their PK led in 1 power play goal from Colorado. Just a weird one as far as shots, especially when you look at the other night. The Coyotes actually outshot their opponent. So right back to where we all are comfortable with. However, you would have hoped that maybe more of the Avs shots would have gone in.
Or at least on net. And that was part of the problem with Colorado tonight. They couldn't hit the net. They had point-blank chances and missed the net. It's almost like the entire NHL is in on this conspiracy.
I know. There has to be something bigger. We might need to join Espo's Tinfoil Hat Club on this one.
We might. I think it's a league-wide conspiracy.
There were moments in this game, though, where the Coyotes look good. And you go right to the first shift when they get 2 shots on net in the first shift, and one of those could have gone in, and now it's 1-0, 1 minute in. I don't know what it is about this Arizona team that teams aren't ready to play. I don't understand it. At some point, you look at the standings and go, oh, shit, this team wins some games. We better be ready. They're actually kind of quick and they're fast and they don't give up. Let's be ready. And another team's not ready to play this Coyote team. I will say by the 3rd period, they cranked it up, and that was clearly the Colorado Avalanche that we expected throughout this game, and they were the much better team through the second half. But the first half of this game, Coyotes were in it. They skated well. They attacked the net well. Their good players were good players. At some point, you have to start to wonder, when are teams going to realize that there's a hockey team in Arizona and they're not that bad? I don't know.
I don't know. I like the suggestions in the chat. A Root said, pull the goalie in overtime. And then Brian said...
regulation, you mean?
Oh, yeah, that too. And Brian said, stop sharpening the goalie skates. We don't want to hurt them, Brian, but it could help. But yeah, the Coyotes, and granted, I think their first period, the first period was the Coyotes' best period tonight. And it was kind of all downhill from there. Unfortunately, Colorado didn't necessarily do the best job of capitalizing on the Coyotes not playing as well in the second and third period. But let's try and be a little bit positive, and talk about the good things that happened. And we'll start with Jack McBain, who scored his third goal in his last 4 games, his 11th of the season. Again, from Maccelli and Krause, pretty much same vibes as the other day. Maccelli passed to Krause, Krause shot on goal, McBain rebound. In the second line is making a name for themselves. We've been pumping up Keller, Schmaltz, Hayton all season long, and all of a sudden this McBain, Maccelli, Krause line is just firing at all cylinders. Krause's 15th assist of the season. It's a career high for Lawson Krause. And
after getting his career high in a point.
Yes, which I forgot to mention the other night, which I felt bad. So congrats on that, Lawson. And he's currently also on a 5-game point streak. So that line, it's just clicking. Something about that line is clicking.
Jack McBain is such a Bill Armstrong type player too. And then Matias Maccelli, 30 assists, leads all rookies in the NHL despite missing a chunk of the season. He keeps this up. I'm going to be really pushing hard for him to be a finalist in the Calder conversation. And it honestly isn't hard this year after the top guy because it is an underwhelming rookie class. If Matias keeps this up and finishes like second in points and leads all rookies in assists, he's right up there in points per game too. You got to put him in this conversation. He's been unbelievable, and he's playing for the Coyotes.
Yeah, and if you would have said at the beginning of the season, the Coyotes' second line is Krause, Maccelli, and McBain, and they're going to overtime against the Colorado Avalanche, I would say you're out of your freaking mind.
On a 4-game point streak.
Like McBain, at that point, we were hoping he'd make the team on the 4th line, and that's just being honest where we thought in preseason. Bukestad leaves, and McBain may be playing better than Bukestad. And yes, I did say that out loud. McBain's been great. His ability to get to the net and play tough minutes, because he does play tough below the goal line. He's tough in the corners, and he still gets to the net like this. I tell you what, this kid's been incredibly impressive this season, and he's one of the bright spots, along with Maccelli, who can find people through sticks, and the passes he makes without looking are absolutely elite. So wait to see when he's on a line with Bedard next year, how well he's going to feed him the puck.
There it is.
Wishful thinking. Man, yeah, can't think about that.
2% odds.
Yeah, but Maccelli, I mean, he's putting more space on that assist leader list for rookies. And yeah, I'm with Craig. If he continues at this rate, he at least should be in the Calder conversation at the very least. Yeah, he deserves it.
And he's not even in the conversation right now when I talk to people nationally, which is crazy to me.
Here's what we need to do. We need to start the Maccelli for Calder campaign.
Matias
Macalder, as Charles put it in the chat. We need to start it. We'll start it on this show. We'll start it on Twitter. And I think social media is a powerful tool. If we just start getting this out there and putting it in people's heads, maybe they'll think, why? And maybe they'll, it's like what's it called? Like when you think it in your head and then you're like recency bias. I don't know. Something like that. I haven't been in school long enough to know the names of those terms. But it does bring up an interesting conversation, because we're just going to stick on Maccelli for a second here. Matias Maccelli is an RFA after this season. What do you do?
I'm curious what this looks like. Do you try and lock him up? Is he one of these players where you try and do the, I probably shouldn't mention his name, but John Chaika, when he tried to lock up some players before people thought that they had emerged, like a Clayton Keller, for instance, to more of a bargain contract, or a Jacob Chikrin, who is no longer here. Do you try and get one of those deals where you lock him up? This is becoming more of a thing, not just in the NHL, but in professional sports, where there's no bridge deal anymore. You come right out of your ELC and you get a longer-term contract. What GMs are thinking is you lock this guy up you're banking on the future rather than paying someone for their past, which has happened in the NHL for many years. You're looking at what this guy might become, and you're trying to get a bargain deal and lock him up for a long period of time. I wonder if that's where they might go with Matias Maccelli.
You look at a guy that's 22 years old, and when we talked about John Chaika making these deals, and we've said it on this show before, that with Clayton Keller signed that deal, you go, oh my God, why? That deal is now untradeable, horrible contract. Well, maybe it turned out just fine. And same with Schmaltz and Chikrin. We all said the same thing, and here they are now that those contracts, the only one that we looked at and shook our head and maybe didn't pan out was OEL. But you look at Matias Maccelli, he's 22 years old. His ability to make plays and passes through people is literally elite. Like he's He's exceptional in this league at being able to make that play. We're talking about guys like Panarin and Kane that can make those kind of passes. He's that good at making passes through sticks. If they can, knowing they've got the money available, they've got the cap space, and they're already drafting guys into infinity, into 2030. They're drafting. Sign the kid, lock him up, get him here long term. If they can get the right money that's acceptable to the team. He's making $850,000 this year,
and he does not even have arbitration rights.
So I'd get him signed. And I'd sign him for a long time, because this is what the rebuild is like. And you want Matias Maccelli at 22 years old in a Kachina jersey when they get through the rebuild.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And especially at his age, he actually can add value on the timeline. It's
30 assists in 48 games for a 22-year-old.
And would he play, if there is a World Cup of hockey, is he playing for Team Italy?
Maccelli.
No. Matias Maccelli.
The most Italian sounding Finn.
The most Italian Finn in history.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of just, I guess, record setting, if you will, Clayton Keller had the Coyotes' other goal tonight. Amazing pass from Barrett Hayton for that one. It's his 27th goal of the season, so sniffing 30. It's within striking distance. And more importantly, Clayton Keller now has a career high in points with 66 points. That's 66 points in 66 games. Officially exactly a point per game player. And more importantly and crazily, 25 points in his last 16 games. Clayton Keller.
Yep, I'm going to write a story on him soon, and it will be how Clayton Keller single-handedly ruined the tank.
You just spoiled the lead. And by the way, a couple of things about Keller. For we talked about it on the last show. He is second in the NHL in points since the All-Star break behind Connor McDavid. That is absolutely insane. And by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this in one of the commercials coming out of commercial on Bally's. Did you see the Clayton Keller bobblehead?
Yeah, yes. That was awesome. The whole segment.
That whole segment was hilarious.
Yeah.
In the Luigi sweatshirt, fire. So who's going to the game? I'm going to the game tomorrow, and I better. I tell you what.
Wait, who's in town?
Minnesota's here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Coyotes PR better save a bobblehead. We will put the Luigi Clayton Keller bobblehead on the table tomorrow's show.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So,
but
did you just yawn?
No.
I thought you were just yawning. I know I'm boring. I get that a lot at home, but I usually don't get it at work.
Just what else? Buddy. What else were you going to say about Keller, Petey?
No, but I was talking about his points and his ability to find the net, and you should see that the difference that I've seen with Keller this year versus previous year is his energy, his attentiveness. Like he wants the puck. He physically engages players to get the puck, and he's locked in. Like he's dialed into this game right now. He's a guy that you could get him off his game before. Like you could, if it was physical, if it was tough, Clayton Keller might disappear. And I have to tell you that this year he has been a completely different player. His ability to get into a game, play 200 feet, and work to get the puck, and he wants to score. That goal, not only does he score the goal, he makes the breakout pass. He makes the breakout pass from below the hash marks, but yet he scores the goal on the dot on the other side. And you heard Tyson Nash going, who made that breakout pass? Was that Valimaki? No, it was Keller. Keller broke it out to himself. Like, it was phenomenal. So he is impressing me right now with his ability to play on both ends of the ice and the effort and desire he's putting in on the ice. He's taken his game to another level.
On pace for just the second 80-plus point season in Coyotes franchise history. That's
insane.
He's drafting. And he's doing it with, let's be honest, I love what Barrett Hayton's been doing, but
he's not Jeremy Roenick. Like, no offense to Barrett Hayton, he's not Jeremy Roenick.
Yeah.
And that's where Keith Tkachuk's playing with when he's getting those kind of points. Or Craig Janney, another guy who's known for his prolific passing ability.
Yes.
It's absolutely insane. And when you say that, Craig, too, some of those teams were getting 90 points in a regular season. Not goals, but points. The teams were good and they were scoring more. Yeah. This team, we're still talking about being a basement team, and he's still going to be the second highest franchise points since they moved to Arizona. It's incredible. And to think that this team could have the best home record since 2012 on a team that's trying to lose.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll figure
be getting
that
into
one
that next week.
And to answer Ethan's question, what's the most? It's 86 for Tkachuk.
Yes.
That was the number. So
yep.
That's
only player.
Yep. Only player in Coyotes history to do
That'll be tough for Keller. That'll be tough. That's 20 points in 16 games. That's a stretch.
25 points in his past 16 games.
Give me a couple hat tricks, though.
If he does it again, he's in.
LFG. Maybe. Listen, at this point, like, standings aside, we'll just cheer for the crazy
for that and for Maccelli and for the little things that we can root for.
Yeah, Schmaltz is a goal away from 100 in his career. Keller's 1 assist shy of 200. So there's a couple of things that we're watching as we go forward. But Clayton Keller, we've given him his flowers, and now we should crown him because he is tonight's DraftKings king of the game, of course, with his career high in points. The Coyotes' goal in this game, like I said, his 27th of the season. And at this point, with his point per game pace and the number of points he's had in the past however many games, at this point, you can just guarantee a bet. Clayton Keller over half a point. Just it's easy money on DraftKings.
Has been lately, yeah.
Yeah, just take it all day long on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And honestly, McBain's been hot too. So ride that wave. You can get some really great value in an anytime scorer for NHL games just because it's not like it's a little more rare. So it's crazier odds, but you can really win yourself some cash in that way on DraftKings. So if you want to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, make sure you use the code PHNX. And new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Normally, this is when I toss it to Sean for a DraftKings pick of the week. Sean is still in Vegas, helping out at the Pac-12 tournament for our awesome coverage we've had there all week. So, Petey, I did give you the heads up. I didn't put you on the spot.
You did.
So I'm going to ask you for your DraftKings pick of the week.
Well, in honor of Sean, I'm going to keep it in the Pac-12 tournament in Las Vegas with the Wildcats getting ready to face the Bruins here. I'd probably be in bed, so I'll miss the end. But this game, the odds have been changing all day long. Right now, the Arizona Wildcats are a 1-point underdog. So I'm taking them money line to win minus 105. The Wildcats to win minus 105 money line versus the UCLA Bruins in the Pac-12 title game.
Bear down. That's what I like to
And that's
hear.
your DraftKings pick of the week.
Love it. You don't seem to agree.
Well, I don't. I mean, I like UCLA in the game, but just
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Guess who Leah didn't ask? You.
Yeah.
So
no.
Literally,
because we have a tradition.
Literally doesn't matter.
When we do picks of the week, we have a tradition of it being a homerish pick. So
yeah, that's true.
We had to keep in that vein.
That's honestly true. Oh man. Well, Craig, I'm excited because we're just 6 days away from your St. Patrick's Day party.
What?
Are you having a party? Have you heard?
Not me.
But
nope.
I know not everyone got the invite, so not the best place, even though that's what this says here. The second best place besides Craig's party to spend St. Patrick's Day is at the Four Peaks 8th Street Pub. Hang out, enjoy a damn good time. I can't think of anywhere better besides Craig's house to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. But we could always stop there on the way to Craig's house. Just saying.
You know what will happen.
What if we have to go there for work? What if Saul says we have to go? What if Saul says we have to attend this?
Then
Sorry,
we'll
Craig.
pick up Four Peaks and bring it to Craig.
There will be Four Peaks at my house.
Sorry, Craig. It's my baby's bedtime at 7 o'clock. So
Yeah,
you want to move it up to 5?
So you're not coming? Is that what you're telling me, Jacob?
Okay, Jacob just RSVP. No,
live RSVP. And, I will say at least I got an RSVP from you because there's
what time do we have to be there?
That still have an RSVP to me. Looking at you, Damon.
What time does it start?
The Cardinals crew still waiting on you guys. Haven't heard anything from you yet. So thanks for that because my wife. It's not like she needs to plan a party. So no worries. It's all good.
I did.
Okay.
Craig, what time does it start? What time does it start? Did we set a time?
7:00.
Oh, PD will already have eaten at 4.
Move it up 2 hours, and PD and I will be there.
It's a Friday. It's a work day.
So
PD will work that day.
Well,
I want to drive to Gilbert in that traffic at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Leah.
Well, I've eaten by then, Craig. What are the odds? What are the odds I'm going to eat by 7 o'clock? Like, are you out of your mind?
Good. But also, what are the odds that you're going to eat as soon as you walk in the front door?
Well, I'm probably going to have to. And that's only because of Tara, not because of you.
No, right. I mean, yeah.
All right, I'm veering us back on the rails.
Okay.
Must be 21 or older to enjoy 4 peaks. Enjoy responsibly.
Better have 4 peaks.
That was great. All right. Well, before we move on from the game to some other topics, I do want to make sure we go over Petey's keys because the Coyotes overtime loss, it's usually 1.5 keys successful. Oh, we might not have them ready. So I'll pull them up myself. Sorry, that's my bad. But Petey, your keys.
We just say them, yeah. Sure.
Slow down. Colorado's speed on the rush is elite.
How did that work out on Malgin's first goal? Not so good. Because you see him blow by the entire Coyotes team. So their speed, but they were able to slow down Nathan MacKinnon for the most part. So I'm going to give that a half. That was a half because they didn't have that many chances.
Half points?
Yeah, half points. I can give half point. I can do whatever I want to.
Usually not here.
You can. These are your keys.
They're not say Craig's keys. They're Petey's keys. So shoot. How did that work out? That's a hard no. They didn't have a shot until 2:20 on the clock in the second period. They never had another shot. So no. Penalty free. Well, we saw what happened there. They gave up a goal on the power play goal. And that goal shot by MacKinnon was absolutely elite. So this is unusual. They're only getting a half. And they still take the game to overtime.
Unreal. They just excel
the other guy
over the odds.
The other guy that didn't get the flowers today, we haven't talked about much, is the goaltender.
Yeah,
because Connor Ingram was really good again tonight.
Yeah, he was. I think, especially in that third period, just facing shot after shot after shot. I mean, he was unreal.
When Colorado finally picked it up and played at the pace they're accustomed to playing, and they looked like the Colorado Avalanche that we are familiar with the skill and the speed, Connor Ingram was there to shut the gate. And I thought he played another very, very, very good game. And their goaltending this season has been high end, no matter who's in there, whether it's Prosvetov or if it's Ingram or Vejmelka. It doesn't matter. They're all playing very well.
Yep. It's absolutely wild. Was there anything else from this game specifically that we didn't talk about?
No,
I think Craig's ready. Craig's
ready to move on.
By the way, I love Joel says this every show, and I just want to acknowledge it. Petey's keys to ignore for the tank. It is true, Joel.
There we go.
I appreciate that.
You want me to cue this one up, or are we moving on to something else?
Oh, are we going? I want to wait 1 second for that one. We'll go in reverse order. Okay. I want to debut this now.
Okay.
Because it's really fun. And the last few shows, we've ignored the standings fully. We've thrown it out the window and said HK. But we're not going to ignore the standings tonight. And it's because we have a new segment to debut. And I'm glad that Jacob is here. I wanted to do it while he was here because this is the masterful work of Jacob Franklin. But without further ado, let's debut PHNX's The Upside Down Standings. So good. Woo! So we got, this is the upside down standings. Columbus 1, San Jose 2, Chicago 3, Anaheim 4, and Arizona 5.
For now.
They might slip off this page, but that's the upside down standings. So we'll be checking in on the bottom of the standings. However, the Coyotes need to stick in that 5 or we're going to be in trouble here.
And we may have some more upside down content planned down the road. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
Absolutely.
That is Jacob's availability because, he's got other responsibilities these days.
But just that was awesome.
That was impressive.
If you're listening on audio, go over to PHNX Sports on YouTube and watch that. If you kind of heard the Stranger Things theme, just picture the standings literally flipping upside down. That's what that was. So as we look at where the Coyotes could possibly go, we've been talking about, the 4 through 8 range. Maybe we have to start thinking about up to 9. But Corey Pronman did just put out his newest list of prospect rankings.
Very interesting.
Yes. Very. There's been a lot of movement. Obviously, Bedard and Fantilli are still 1 and 2, but he's no, they're not. They're not. Bedard is obviously number 1. Matvei Michkov is number 2.
Where's
Corey
Fantilli?
Pronman's rankings. 3, Adam Fantilli. 4, Leo Carlson. 5, Nate Danielson. 6, William Smith, we all know. And then 7, David Reinbacher. a defenseman
from Austria.
8 Daniel, I don't know how to say that. Daniel Boot.
Yeah.
Boot.
Daniel
Boot, and then 9 Colby Barlow. I'm only going to read the top 9 because that's just the names we need to know. But very interesting shakeup. This is on the Athletics website. Definitely go check it out because he gives detailed reasonings for his rankings. And obviously Corey Pronman, friend of the show.
Yeah,
he's out there. He does his research. He knows, almost better than anyone on the journalism side in this one. But it was a very interesting list.
Yeah, and I caught up with him today just to ask about it a little bit. Reinbacher, for instance, when Corey does these rankings, and I've said this a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it because there are a lot of pretenders out there who will tell you that they're prospect analysts. Oh, here's my rankings. Here's what I think. Quite frankly, I don't care what you think because you're not at the games, watching the games. You're not talking to the scouts. You're not talking to the executives. Your opinion doesn't matter because it's not informed enough. Corey Pronman is incredibly informed, and he, like Leah just said, is up to the date informed. This is one of his strengths. I worked with him for a couple of years at The Athletic. He is in touch with so many scouts, so many executives. He goes to so many games. He listens to what they say about the players. He listens to what they say about how to watch the players. He is really dialed into this. So when he rejiggers his whole top 10, it's for a reason. He's been talking to people. If Corey Pronman is rejiggering his top 10, that means scouts are rejiggering their top 10. So this top 10 is fascinating to me as a result because things have shifted around quite a bit.
Yeah, we talk about Matvei Michkov and what that means coming from Russia. We keep comparing it to Kirill Kaprizov, where it's a player that played with men in the KHL, and he's not coming. Like, he's not going to be here next year, and he's not going to be here the year after or the year after. So he's the guy you wait for, and that might actually be perfect for the Coyotes. So we thought he might slip through because of that, and maybe slip down to 4, 5, 6, but doesn't look like it now.
Corey's comparable on him is Nikita Kucherov, which, yes, please.
Heard of him?
Would take that. But there are 2 Russians on this list, and it's a story that I'm certain a lot of outlets are going to write. Do you take the risk? Do you take the risk with the situation over there? What do you think? I mean, it's not just, okay, you got to wait a few years for a Russian player, and that's always dicey. They can make money in the K. Do they want to come? It's a really bad international political situation right now. We don't like Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin doesn't like us. I'm not sure. I don't know. But will he let these players leave? The team that Michkov plays for right now is very pro-Putin. So will they want him to go? How is this all going to shake out? GMs are so nervous about this situation. They just don't know. You don't have enough information to make your decision. So do you, like if you're the Coyotes and you're sitting 6th or 7th, and Michkov's still there, do you take him knowing we've got a franchise player on the board, or do you fear you'll never see that franchise player and you've wasted the pick that you worked so hard to get, in spite of what the coach and players did?
Somehow, if the Coyotes took him, it would be wasted, but if anybody else did, it would be fine.
Doesn't it? It feels that way. It's a crazy, crazy situation. It's going to be a fascinating story to write, and I don't know, like even from a national writer's perspective, aside from talking to GMs and execs here, how do you get a sense of the climate over there and what might be allowed? I mean, you can talk to officials with KHL teams, but they don't know. They don't know what the political decision is going to be. So it's a really tough thing to manage. You simply can't get the level of information that you want to get when making a pick that high.
Yeah, it'll be a very interesting situation to follow. And as Corey Pronman, continues to update his draft board, and Chris Peters and Bob McKenzie and Craig Button, we're going to do what we did last year and talk to all those guys on our shows after the Coyote season ends. So definitely stay logged in. There's a ton of draft preview content coming your way as soon as the offseason hits. So looking forward to that. But Craig, if you've ever read one of Craig's mailbags, you might realize by now that his intro is usually something unrelated that he wants to go on a rant about. Whatever it may be, or not even a rant. Sometimes it's just thoughts. So I'm going to allow Craig the floor for a second to have one of those moments.
Sure. We don't know what GMs are going to do, but I know what we won't be doing tomorrow in Arizona. We won't be changing our clocks because daylight saving is stupid. There's no reason for it. I've heard so many arguments in favor of daylight saving. Oh, what will we do in relation to the rest of the world? Well, let me tell you, folks, less than 40% of the world actually observes daylight saving. Less than 40% of the world's nations observe daylight saving. So that's not a good argument. We've heard some of the myths about it. Oh, it was done for agriculture. Actually, it was instituted much earlier than that. It was about energy saving when it came the first time. And actually, the first country to institute it, you want to know who that was? It was Germany during World War I, so they could produce more weapons. They could be more productive. So do we want to keep that tradition going? Is that really what we want to keep going? Is there any point to daylight saving at all right now? Does anyone care anymore whether we're flipping forward or flipping back? It just creates confusion. There are people who believe that there's less crime or you are actually healthier. What? There's no actual research that proves that. It's all just garbage thrown out there. There's no benefit to daylight saving. It just causes confusion. It already passed the Senate once, but the House, as the House does, because, the House is what it is, it lost steam there. But even the EU back in 2019 decided we need to get rid of this. It's dumb. And it's sort of stalled there because, well, like our house, Brexit happened. You get some morons involved and it tends to stall the process. But not even Europe wants daylight saving anymore. Can we just get together and get rid of this antiquated and initially stupid idea? Let's get rid of daylight saving. In the meantime, props to you, Arizona. You're leading the nation.
We just want to be in the Pacific time zone so we can have every game not be at 8:30. We loved this 4:00 start. Craig and I said, can they all be at 4? That's the main reason. But for more rants like this, become a diehard. Go PHNX.com/diehard. Craig's mailbags are amazing, but also is producing weekly diehard content only every week, as well as all of the free and unlocked content on the website. So become a diehard. It gets you access to our Discord, 20% off merchandise, including the amazing new Suns shirts in the locker, phnxlocker.com, and 20% off events, including one we have coming up very soon, the PHNX Tea Party, the second ever PHNX Tea Party at Dobson Ranch. The tickets are on sale now. Join us Friday, March 24th for a night of golf, food, drinks, contests, prizes, and more. Hang out with the PHNX crew, fellow Suns fans, diehards. We watch the Suns battle in the final stretch of the season as they take on the Sacramento Kings. So check the link in the Discord check the link in the show notes to reserve your spot today. And diehards, check Discord for your exclusive discount links. If you're looking for a reason to become a diehard, getting a discount on this event is a very good reason. And the Tea Party last time, we had a blast. It was great. We met a couple of the Coyotes listeners there as well. It's not just it's a Suns watch party, but you don't have to even watch the game. We had a great time catching up with everybody. So hope to see you there. And if you're looking for a place to stop for food, maybe on the way, although there is delicious food at the Tea Party, may I recommend to you Illegal Pete's. I need to go back. I'm kind of having withdrawals. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been to Illegal Pete's. 2 weeks since I didn't get my queso. I need the queso back in my life. And with March coming up, Selection Sundays tomorrow, March Madness is around the corner, and nothing cures the My Bracket is Busted in the first round like fresh limes, tequila, lots of tequila, and sweet agave. So try out an Illegal Pete's Coin Premium or Frozen Margarita, and you can stop by for happy hour 3 to 6 p.m. every day. All right. I want to do a quick check-in on the Tucson Roadrunners because they came back from a 3-0 deficit to tie the game 3-3. Unfortunately, Milwaukee's now up 4-3. There's still 30 seconds remaining. So unless a miracle happens, it is what it is. But Michael Carcone did the deed. He finally did it after a quiet couple games for him, but he finally passed, right? Set the franchise record in points for the Tucson Roadrunners.
And so we're going to have Michael Carcone on the show on Monday. I think at 1 o'clock, maybe 12:45 if he finishes up a little early.
Just be ready in that time frame. Really looking forward to catching up with him and talking a little Tucson because they're right in the midst of an important playoff race, and it's fun to kind of have your finger on the pulse of some competitive hockey in Arizona.
Yeah, and people have asked, are they going to recall Michael Carcone? Well, maybe, but it's really important to them that the Roadrunners make the playoffs, and they are in a battle. There are 4 teams in the battle for the final 2 spots in the Pacific Division. It's anything but assured. They really need his offense in that lineup. They saw what happened when he came up here the last time. They really struggled to score goals. So it would not surprise me if they don't recall him, because, again, it's important to this management group and this development staff that those players are playing in meaningful games in the spring and not packing it up after the regular season.
Yep. I thought Petey was going to chime in, so
no, I fell asleep about 20 minutes ago. I don't know if I've said anything in the last 20 minutes, but no, I'm looking forward to. So is that in studio? Is that a live?
No, he's gonna call in. They have their practice.
Oh,
go
gotcha.
Through his day, but I'm told that'll have a nice backdrop. So
I'm excited. He's been a good guest. He's been a friend of the program and that team. We need to do a check-in because we are going to follow them through their playoff run because we know the Coyotes will not be having one. So it'll be fun to follow them.
Can you imagine if the Coyotes did? I'm just kidding. That can't happen. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. And congrats to Michael Carcone. And
it's a cool
it's
thing.
It's a very, very cool thing.
Well, maybe not for the rest of your life, but for a while.
Especially
if he stays down there for the rest of the season, he could really put a sizable lead.
Yeah, and then we'll be saying his name as somebody comes close to passing him, hopefully down the line, because hopefully the record does get broken, because that just means the Coyotes have some great prospects in the pipeline. Well, we should take a look at the Coyotes' upcoming schedule.
Home.
Oh, did you know the Coyotes play tomorrow?
Wow, so they're going to go like 7. They're going to win their next 4 games because they're all at Mullet.
Freaking Mullet.
Mullet
Magic, it's back. By the way, I thought, they can't win tonight because they're on the road. Like, no Mullet Magic in Colorado.
Came close.
Somehow they carried that energy over into Colorado.
And Minnesota comes in tomorrow without Kirill Kaprizov, who is injured. So just saying.
But just to keep it in perspective, Minnesota has not lost a game in their last 10. They're 8-0-2. They have not lost in regulation in 10, which means
tomorrow, probably.
Take the Coyotes tomorrow.
Yeah,
take the Coyotes tomorrow.
Yeah, looks like a 4-0 week. Yep.
God. But Calgary needs to win a hockey game. You look at where Calgary's at in the standings. They're 4 points out of the last spot. They played one more game than Winnipeg. Edmonton's getting too far away from them. They need to win. And the only team I can see them catching right now is Winnipeg, because Edmonton's 9 points ahead of them. Calgary needs to win. And if that team doesn't make the playoff, I'm sorry, Brad, they might have to make a change up there. I worry about our good friend of the program, Brad Treliving, but Calgary needs to win. But you said the same thing about New Jersey, who's a team looking for home ice. They lose. Colorado's in 3rd place in the Pacific. They need to win. What is going on with these teams? Sorry.
I know. I don't know. I do not know. Well, this is normally the part of the show where I throw it to the punch card. We can all blame Sean for this one because he is in Las Vegas, and I asked him for the punch card, and he was unable to give it to me. So we don't have the punch card, but to make it up to everyone, I have a surprise, and it is Hadley Franklin making her PHNX debut. Oh, it's
Baby Cam.
Her little Phoenix onesie. Yay! Making her
tired.
Us too.
We have that effect on our
too.
viewers too. They get bored quickly.
Hadley Franklin making her PHNX debut. Jacob's baby, everybody, and Sydney's here too. Beautiful
Awesome.
baby. So that's the consolation for no punch card.
Way
I think it
better
was
than
well
consolation.
worth it. But
Wow.
the little Phoenix onesie is so
That's
cute.
awesome.
We might need to make Baby Cam a segment of the show. For
We
the rest of the
should,
season.
especially when things get dire and we need a little smile.
Yep.
Oh man, I loved that. Well, when she grows up in a couple years, Jacob, I think you can take her to Octane Raceway and Mavericks. When she's old enough to do all that stuff. But sounds like a great dad-daughter activity, if I do say so myself, Jacob.
Yeah, I'll kick her butt though.
Yeah, I know. No pity.
No pity. You can't let them just think that they can just walk in and win everything.
that's
You
right,
got to
yeah.
make sure that they understand that life doesn't always just hand you wins.
Exactly. So if you're looking for some fun this spring, go check out Octane Raceway and Mavericks. They have kart racing, virtual reality, laser tag, axe throwing, bowling, arcade, great food and drinks. They've got it all. So bring your spring training ticket stub. If you go to any spring training game, bring that and get a free $10 game card. So 2 for 1. You can just make it a whole day of fun activities. Check out octaneraceway.com and mavericks.com to learn more. All right, you guys.
I got one more thing, Leah.
Okay.
Because I just want to say it's a stat that came up during the show today. We know that this team has not lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the calendar year of 2022. So we've already talked about that enough. They've beaten the Toronto Maple Leafs, by the way. That's 4 times. Right? Yeah, they don't lose to Toronto. They also don't lose to the Colorado Avalanche. They've swept the series. They beat them 2 times already this year. They have the best winning percentage of any team in the Western Conference against the Colorado Avalanche over the last 2 seasons. And I'll say that again, that is the Arizona Coyotes have the best winning percentage in the Western Conference over the Colorado Avalanche, who, by the way, won the Stanley Cup. So Rudo, AJ, just wanted to throw that out to you.
Okay.
This team, I just have to put it out there one more time because I'm going to try and do it once a show. This is for the hockey gods, okay? The Coyotes have worked hard and played well.
They have.
And a lot of adversity has been thrown their way, okay? Hockey gods, please reward them for this effort with a top 3 draft pick in 2023. Please and thank you.
There it is.
And as I said a few weeks ago, please pray.
And the back-to-back versus Colorado is coming up at the end of the month. Home and away, back-to-back. Well, it's not back-to-back days. It's 2 days apart. But they play Colorado twice at the end of this month. Let's see if they can make it 4.
Come on, Colorado. Get your revenge. Please. Please. All right. Well, everybody here in the chat, we appreciate you. Hit the like button on this video. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The Suns crew will be live after the Suns game, breaking down that one. So stay locked in. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live. And we'll be right back here tomorrow night after the Arizona Coyotes take on the Minnesota Wild, hopefully with the Clayton Keller bobblehead, which we will, I'm sure, do a whole segment evaluating the bobblehead and rating it against previous bobbleheads, because that sounds like a lot of fun. It's something I really want to do. So we'll be doing that. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at Craig S. Morgan, at Leah Merrill, at S. Peters Hockey. You can follow Jacob at Jacob_Franklin4. Nailed it. And you can follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.
Don't forget to not turn back your clocks.
True.